Now we're going to proceed to panel 2. Now this one is more based on the leadership side, more than entrepreneurial. I am going to welcome the first panelist, Natasha. Miss Nigeria, Gabby. Felix. I was sitting there and I'm like, wait a minute, dude, we actually grew up together. We grew up in the same neighborhood, went to schools that are next to each other, but she left me for Europe. She came to Europe. Help me welcome Denga. And last but not least, Favour. So they're all in business or leadership. Miss Nigeria, did you hear the prayer? You know, like Nissy was saying, I'm always saying there's too many Nigerians in this country. Or like I can speak like them now.
Listen, we get sucked in,
but I love them. So this is the panel on leadership, and we each have a few minutes.
Okay, well, I guess I'm starting. Hi everybody, my name is Natasha. I'm not a talker, so I'm not going to talk too much. But I'm the CEO of Girls Arise, and Girls Arise is actually a nonprofit that was founded under our mother organization, which is Breakforth, and basically our mandate is just focusing on young girls and Y'all are nervous. Focusing on young girls and making in terms of like empowerment, raising awareness about mental health, education, poverty alleviation, and just instilling resources in young women, because we believe that if you instill the right resources in young women, that they have the power and they have the influence and they have the reach to transform their communities. And in terms of leadership, I think regarding to me, my organization, and my team, I think that the leadership styles that I try to implement, that we all try to implement in servant leadership, I feel like it's impossible to actually be a good leader if you're not able to serve, if you're not able to, and it involves a number of other qualities, being able to listen, being able to be empathetic, being able to be vulnerable, and I think that that's all those things that are kind of encompassed in servant leadership. So I think it's one thing for somebody to need you to help them, but it's one thing for someone to want you to help them. And I think that's what servant leadership is. So yeah, that's
Do I get up or sit?
Either way, babes.
Okay, thank you. I'll just introduce myself a little. I'm Oyinye Ogude, and I am Miss Nigeria Island. And I'm also a social care worker and who's looking to study medicine later on, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
And I also have my own nonprofit organization called My Sister's Keeper, and it is founded on being your sister's keeper, basically. I try to create safe spaces for women to discuss issues and give women the platform and the voice that we technically don't really have, but we claim that we have, to provide that safe space for them to come out and say, do you know what, I'm African and I'm going through sexual abuse. I'm African and I'm going through emotional abuse. I'm African and I'm having a mental breakdown, and it's okay. That's what I'm trying to create, and create sort of events to kind of not just uplift, but also educate a lot of young people, even if it's just like next few weeks, we're having our workshop on hair and makeup and self-defense. And I picked those three because I felt like self-defense, one, is so important, especially when we're going out as young females. You don't know, this world is getting crazy and anything can happen at any time. With hair and makeup, it's just to feel good. And when you feel good, you feel great on the inside. Have you ever sat down and done your makeup and you're not going anywhere, but you feel good? That's the feeling that I want to give to people. And I'm also sort of a motivational speaker. I only started that since I became Miss Nigeria. And it's been, people say I don't look like I'm nervous, but as you see me right now, I'm shaking. And it just comes off as if I'm literally just speaking. But no, I enjoy doing that as well. And in terms of leadership, in terms of the questions that Sammy asked, she said, what is like being a leader? And people think being a leader is like you just go out and you just tell people what to do. No, you serve. Like being a leader is you're serving people, and you're serving your team, you're serving the people that are coming to whatever it is you're providing for them, and you're serving yourself. I grew up in like a very Christian home, so like I say God and a lot of things, and I'm very strong in my faith, and I believe that like if to be a leader, it comes with a lot of challenges, and people just think that as a CEO or if you have an organization, you're just telling your team, go do this, go do that, go do that. It doesn't work like that, and I've learned that the hard way. Even in my team meetings, we sit down and I'm like, so what do you guys think? Because if I delegate every single time, no one can add to my vision, and no one can take away. So I believe that when I'm sitting with my team, and if I'm able to say to them, okay, what do we think? Because it's not just me. Like you guys have said, it's you're not your brand. You are your brand, but you're also not your brand. Like you can be the face of it, but the team working behind you are the ones that are really making it. I know I'm wrapping it up, sorry. And I believe there's so many challenges that come with it. I've had days where I just cry, and then I get up and I'm like, I gotta go to work. So wipe those tears away and keep it pushing. And it's hard. It's so hard. But I believe that with God, anything is possible. And no matter what the challenge is, if you face it head on, it's if you leave it to linger, it drags. But once you face it head on, and with God, anything, any obstacle is certified.
Hey guys, my name is Favour Ogundari, and my business is called Favour Designs. So I basically do like graphic design work and digital artwork. So I would say in terms of leadership, like I think of leadership as in I'm helping someone get towards a certain goal. So like Nissy was talking about people who have like businesses. So like a logo is a big part of having a business. So like me helping you make your logo, I'm helping you get towards that goal. I would say for me being a Christian, like you said as well, like it's really important for me to let God lead me, because it's like I can have a plan of like this is how I want things to go, and then God would be like, lol, like that's not God would be like, yo, that's not what's gonna happen. Like I could be like, this is what I want to do, and God would be like, chop, that's not what's happening at all. So like it's always really important for me to like be like keep God along with me. And then also it's really important for me to like remember like my customer, like in this kind of thing, like sometimes people have an opinion, like they want a certain color, and I'm like, oh, I don't think that color would look nice. But like it's a thing where like, okay, it's great, like I can have my opinion, I can suggest stuff, but at the end of the day, the customer is always right. So like I should never make them feel like their opinion is like stupid, or like that like what they think of isn't valid, because at the end of the day, it's their business. Like they have to be happy with it. It doesn't matter. Like sometimes I design stuff and I'm like, that's not something necessarily that I feel like is me, but they're happy with it, and that's all that matters. Like my opinion literally means nothing at the end of the day. And then there was a thing about talking about how to get better. So like for me, I feel like you have to remember that learning never stops. So the world is evolving. People learn how to do stuff different ways. It applies to like every business. So it's like if I look at my stuff from like a couple months ago, like I look at them now and I'm like, that's actually like it's not nice at all, you know? And like it's like I'm always willing to learn, and sometimes like clients will ask me to make them stuff and I'm like, I have no idea how to do this. And instead, like sometimes I'm like, should I just say I don't know? But I'll be like, okay, and I'll go and research and I'll look, and then now I know how to do it. And then when someone asks me next time, I can be like, oh, this is how you do it. And even like say like with like hair, with different type of things like that, like say like we look at our hair from like 2 years ago, like you're like, what was my hair like, you know? But like 2 years ago, that was it. But the world is always evolving, and if you're not willing to evolve, you're gonna get left behind, because they're gonna find somebody else who knows how to do that. And then like if you're not willing to learn how to do something, they're gonna find someone that will do it, and they're just gonna be, if you're like, I'm not willing to, they'll be like, oh, that's great, like they'll find somebody else, because they're at the end of the day, you're not the only person doing what you do. There are literally loads and loads of
So hi everyone, my name is Billikis, and I'm also known as your favourite muse. So on the professional side, I work as a digital marketer, and on the other side, I'm also a fashion and lifestyle blogger. So basically what I do is I post photos and content online basically sharing my life. So I started when I was in Singapore a couple of years ago, and since then I guess the journey has changed, and I'm more directed towards fashion and kind of sharing my style and different ways to represent yourself through your style. So for me, leadership is being a go-getter. So when I started fashion blogging about 4 or 5 years ago in Ireland, I don't really think there was anyone in particular, or there was a lot of people doing what I was doing, but I didn't mind, I didn't care. It was one of those that if you genuinely have a passion for what you want to do, you're not going to get discouraged if other people are not doing it, or if it may seem weird or out of place. Because at the time, I think a lot of people were doing YouTube, and then I think my career teacher was like, oh, Bilikas, yeah, you want to do this? No, I think you should actually do a blog. And I was like, why would I do a blog when everyone else is doing YouTube? Doesn't this one rate me? Like, YouTube is where the I was like, YouTube is where the money's at. But I remember she looked at me, she was like, you know what, right? No. She was like, in Ireland, there's no black influencer that I can acknowledge. She was like, look at this person, so sued me at the time. She was like, she's an white Irish influencer, whatever, but she was like, I can't acknowledge any black person. Ireland needs black influencers. They need bloggers. They need people who can represent them. So I feel like that was when I took the step forward to know the market, to educate myself, and to tap into it. And since then, obviously, there's been numerous challenges, but like what Favour says, whenever the market changes, you have to change with it. I remember when I first started blogging, everyone was using photographers. Photographers was the thing. We had to use photographers. If you weren't using a photographer, it didn't make sense. Now we don't use photographers. No one uses photographers. Like, use your phone, use your own resources. Now if you use a photographer, you're not going to get as much engagement. Sorry. This is an event. I'm just being real. No, I'm just being real. On a real note, like on my Instagram, you'll notice, like if you scroll down back in the days, everything was professional photos. I bought like numerous cameras. I bought one camera, I was like, oh, this is not good enough. My camera even got stolen. I bought another one. I was like, no, it has to get better. In the end, now I just use my iPhone. Like now I just use what I have at home. Like I was asked who takes your photos. Anyone takes my photos. My family, my friends, a stranger, someone in an event takes my photos. You just have to use your resources. And I feel like if you want to be a leader, or if you want to do something that you're passionate about, just have a vision. Understand, okay, that it's not going to be easy, but as long as you know your vision, that's going to drive you. When times get tough, when there's going to be obstacles, when no one's going to care about what you're doing, when people are going to just be like, oh, F her or whatever, your vision is going to basically put you into place and it's going to keep you going. And I guess that's all I have to say.
We love you, Capel. Denga.
Hi guys, my name is Denga Piriga, and I am here on behalf of my brand, Whipped. The rest of the girls couldn't make it, but I'm here. So basically what we do at Whipped, actually I should just tell you guys that we started like in November, so we're only very new. So it's skincare brand, so we focus on just doing skincare brands on everything natural. So, sorry, I have a cold, guys. So we started this in November. Basically, for myself, it was a very personal journey because I struggled with my skin, just doing a lot of nonsense like when I was growing up. So I was like, I tried everything under the sun and nothing worked. So it got to a point where I was like, I need to start researching. And I wasn't researching because I wanted to do a business or start a business. I was researching for my own good. So I wanted to try and find something which works for me. So after all the couple of months, I think almost a year that we researched to do our brand and everything, we finally found something which works for everyone in the group. Started trying it out on other people and everything, and all of it worked. So basically, Whipped happened by mistake, I should say. But I took the opportunity, just like Nissy Tee said, just because something works for you and you feel like you shouldn't be selfish, basically. So if you have an idea or you have something which you see you can do and you can give the world, you should always take that initiative to go out there and give it to the world, because you could have something in you that someone else needs. But if you just keep holding on to that thing, someone might never get healed of acne, someone might never get healed of eczema because you probably have a product which could help them. Someone could never, like, there's a lot of problems out there that people face, and there's you are probably, or not probably, but you will be an answer to someone. It could probably, you're not an answer to everyone, but there's always going to be someone, a target audience, who is waiting for you to speak, who's waiting for you to act, who is waiting for you to dance, who's waiting for you to sing. So you should never take yourself for granted, never take your talent for granted. If you don't have a talent, go find something that you can do that can help someone. I feel like everyone is born with a purpose, first of all, and it takes a long time to find out what your purpose is. Some people find it earlier on in life. Some people take years finding it. Some people have it, but they just don't want to work on it. So what I can say to you guys today, probably what you should take, what I've taken from a lot of talks that I've been to, is don't sleep on yourself. So if you feel like there's something that you have which you can give to someone, even if it's 2 people, even if it's 2,000 people, even if it's 2 million people, start doing it tomorrow. Start planning, even if you're not doing the actual thing, plan it and do it. Like, that's the best thing you can do for yourself. And on the leadership side of things, I am working at a law firm right now. Not a leader there, obviously. Like, I just started a few months ago. So, like, when it comes to leadership, you kind of need to, what's the word? You need to humble yourself. Whether you're a leader or someone who is being led, you need to always know how to be humble. As a leader or as a learner, you need to know that someone knows more than I do. I can get something from someone who knows more, or I can give someone who does not have as much knowledge as I am. But whether or not you're a leader or a learner, you always need to be humble to learning. So you can never stop learning. Like, even pros never stop learning. So whether you find yourself a pro, whether it's dancing, makeup, hair, whether you knit clothes, whether you cook, just always have room to improve. So yeah, that's sorry.
Look, pretty managing the time.
Sorry.
All right, thank you so much. Any questions? Not everyone at the same time. Is that a question? Yeah.
So when it comes to your brands and your business, you're leading, let's say for you, like, for example, for your digital designing and graphic designing and everything, do you ever feel like you're charging too much or too little, or do you look at a client and say, if I say this to them, I'm going to lose their business, and adjust your prices? Like, what do you usually do with that?
So like when I first started out, I remember when I like made the page and all, like I just put it out and then someone messaged me straight away and they're like, how much are you? And I didn't even know, like, I hadn't even like thought of the idea of like charging. And then I talked around to like different people who are doing the same thing as me. And then like one girl basically said to me, she was like, charge basically where you're at. So like it's like as you increase, your price also increases. So if like when I started out, I would have charged like lower. Then as I was learning and learning more, I would charge more. And then it was like a thing, like we were even talking about it like there. Like it's a thing where like at this stage, I don't really worry too much about whether people feel if it's too expensive, because I'm like, then I guess you're not the person for me. Because like if I lower, because it's like I always say like if I lower my price, then you're going to get a lowered quality product as well, and then people are happy with that. So it's better to like, because I want to be working on something and be happy to work on it. I don't want to work on it and then be thinking like, oh, but this isn't even worth it. I'm not even getting like my money's worth. You want to be happy with what you're working. So it's good to just like stick to like the price that you're happy with, and then the customers for you will come to you. Like other people, like they can go somewhere else.
I'm sorry. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much. Thank you to the panelists.